What if I told you that the love, the romance, the intimate connection that you crave has nothing to do with what you give the other person? What if I told you that your intellect, your creativity, your kindness, your sweetness, your empathy still is not going to help you find love in your life? Working harder, being more patient, trying to find out what is the person's love language, just trying to get the person to like you, it falls flat. It's disappointing. It doesn't work. So what I'm trying to say is, despite your intentions, despite your hard work, despite your friendship, all of what you try to do to find love in your life, it backfires if you don't, and listen carefully, if you don't have the same love for yourself. A saying that I once created will put this in perspective. Love yourself in the way that you want someone to love you. So it doesn't matter. All of your qualities will fall flat if you don't have self-love. So if you keep trying so hard, so diligently to fill up another person's cup, to make them happier, to make them more relaxed, to make them like you, well, first of all, that's really good. And don't stop that. Please don't, because that's part of the recipe. But understand that the love that you want, the love that you deserve, is only going to be found after the love that you've built for yourself, self-love. And this should probably make sense if you know me and have followed me, because I changed the term codependency to self-love deficit disorder. More than that, I created a treatment program that brings forth a cure from self-love deficit disorder to self-love abundance. Look in the mirror and you're going to see that person that your next lover needs to see. They need to see you happy, fulfilled, calm, relaxed. It's there. Check in the mirror sometimes. I think you're going to see him or her. I've been a therapist for 37 years. I've had many jobs in the mental health field, and every job I've had, I've tried to make a difference. I've tried to help people heal and find their potential, their capacity. I've always understood, going all the way back to my first job in Boone, Iowa in 1989. Wow, that's a long time ago. I figured out that the way to help people solve problems is to dig deep and find out what has stopped them, what has caused the problem that is keeping them from enjoying their life. Get to the core, get to the solution, you fix it, and then the person can be relieved of the pain and the suffering. You probably know I wrote 4 books: The Human Magnet Syndrome, The Codependency Revolution, The Human Magnet Syndrome Workbook, and another edition of the Human Magnet Syndrome. And I love to teach people. My heart, my drive, my motivation is to help people learn about self-love abundance and how to overcome self-love deficit disorder. So let's talk about why you can't get the love that you want, the love that you deserve, the love that you work so hard for. You see, most people are trying to build their life on a foundation that's unstable, kind of like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you go, and the harder it is to get out of it, to escape the forces that pull you, suck you down. The quicksand, the faulty foundation. We can't blame other people. We have to accept responsibility. Even if we have been traumatized as children and younger adults, we can look to our parents and we could blame them. But the solution lies in how we get out of the quicksand. How do we find a stable place in our life where we can learn to love ourselves and ultimately find healthy love with another person? See, the problem is with self-love deficit disorder, you are encumbered by core shame, this fundamental belief that you're not lovable. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, you have this sinking feeling in the back of your head that you can't outrun, that you're not going to be good enough. Someone's going to find a flaw, or the secret that you're hiding is eventually going to be found. And to add to that is you walk around with this pathological loneliness, this bone-aching feeling, angst, anxiety, sadness, that you just don't feel like you fit into this world, into your life, into your body. It's an existential disease. And no matter how much you try to fill your cup, no matter how much you try to enjoy your life, your cup remains empty. It's a sad pattern. The worst part of it is you're seeking love. You just want people to see how you really feel, your intentions. I know I was an SLD. I was a magnet for compliments. I was trying to work so hard to make everyone happy. And paradoxically, if I wasn't an SLD, I might not have written all the books. I might not have worked so hard to accomplish some of my career goals because I just wanted to be the right person, do the right thing, say the right things, get people to notice me, to like me and love me. But that's backwards because I would find out later, everything like that fails if you don't have a foundation of self-love abundance. When you have self-love deficit disorder, not only are you're in the wrong environment, it's with the wrong people. The human magnet syndrome draws you into the lives of narcissists. It pulls you into the chaos, trying to love a person that can never get enough, who is not going to love you back. You end up tolerating neglect, abandonment, abuse, disrespect, because you don't want to be alone. And that loneliness, that bone-aching loneliness, you don't ever want to visit that again. And you're trying to outrun the core shame. So instead of leaving a person who treats you bad, you keep trying to treat him or her better, trying to find that magical moment, elixir, that strategy to crack through their narcissism so they can finally love you and take care of you as much as you take care of them. And it doesn't work, and it can't work because a person with SLDD, they have low self-esteem. They don't respect themselves. They don't see themselves as worthy of unconditional love. They perform, they try to fix, they try to be everything to everyone. And sometimes some SLDs are really good at being super wonderful, incredible friends. But to the narcissist that they want love from, it doesn't work, and it always fails miserably. At the end of the day, you perpetuate this concept of you are a human doing, not your birthright as a human being. You believe, mistakenly, sometimes delusionally, is going to get you the love you want. But it doesn't, because you're doing it in the wrong place with the wrong people who don't and can't and have a vested interest in not taking care of you. These pathological narcissists are never going to give you what you need. They're always going to look at themselves first, and you're going to be in a hamster wheel, moving forward, trying to get somewhere, but never going anywhere, getting tired, and the next day hopping back on and doing the same thing. It's a very, very sad life. I know it. I've lived it. The clients I see live it, and I see how debilitating it is. A lot of people use the word self-love. It's a catchphrase. First of all, it's a really good term, but it's more than just words. It's a philosophy. It's a way that you run your life. It's a way that you react to others. It's a way that you treat yourself. Self-love deficit disorder, it comes from the trauma of your childhood, the core shame, the loneliness, and this compulsion, this obsession with being in a relationship to make that loneliness go away. But the other side of self-love deficit disorder, to cure, what I do with my patients who come see me for my self-love recovery treatment program, is to neutralize this self-love deficit disorder, get to its constituent components, and one at a time, neutralize them, fix them, solve them, heal them, so that there's no reason that once they start to feel self-love, that it is pushed away, it is ignored, it is denied. If you feel stuck in painful relationship patterns, you're not alone. I've already helped thousands break free from what I call self-love deficit disorder, and how to finally choose self-love over the insanity you create for yourselves. Work with me. My psychotherapy can help. Because once you have self-love, you understand boundaries, you know how to execute them, and you realize that it's not the boundary that is going to keep you safe from the narcissist. It is what you do with the relationship. Because I have plenty of videos out there that essentially say setting boundaries with narcissists is an act of futility. It doesn't work. But with self-love abundance, you are the boundary. You are the person that no longer is disrespected, taken advantage of, used, abused, gaslit, neglected. You're not that person anymore. That former life of yours doesn't fit anymore. It feels terrible. You reject it and you choose self-love abundance, where everyone in your life, people that you invite into your life, are going to treat you with respect, are going to give near as much as you give. It's not always equal. And if they are romantic partners, are going to love you close to as much as you love them, maybe in a different way, maybe not as often, but it will be this life that is imbued with confidence towards your relationships, because your relationships are going to reflect, of course, no surprise, self-love, your self-love abundance. And one of the main reasons this works is because at the very core of self-love deficit disorder, and you guys have seen my pyramid, you got the attachment trauma, the core shame, the loneliness, the relationship addiction, and everything on top of that pyramid that people know as codependency. But it works because you found a way to heal that attachment trauma, that horrible experience that you endured as a child with one of your narcissistic parents, and sometimes your codependent parent, where that the only love that you ever got was the love that came from you changing, you being molded into a person they wanted, you being patient, you being their best friend. It is the trauma not being loved unconditionally and the trauma not being free to be the child that you were meant to be, but the indentured servitude of having to be the friend, the good person, the perfect child that makes your narcissistic parent happy. To solve SLDD, we got to figure out a way to get to that trauma and neutralize it. And in my self-love recovery treatment program, that's exactly what I do. In fact, I created a treatment technique called the Healing the Inner Trauma Child Trauma Integration Method, or it's much shorter, my Hitch method. Getting to the trauma must happen. That is why codependency treatment doesn't work. Band-aid work. They're putting Band-Aids over deep wounds, and the deep wounds can't heal with a Band-Aid, and the Band-Aid eventually falls off. And with self-love abundance, you gain empowerment, or what I call personal agency. You feel like you can do what you want. The goals that you put forth, you can get to because you believe in yourself, and you won't let yourself get derailed because of poor self-esteem, because of ridicule, because of someone's manipulation. You have an idea and a goal, and because you love yourself so much, you move forward confidently, proactively. You are going to achieve it, much like a parent takes care of a child. And we're talking about a good parent, where they will do almost everything to make sure that child is safe. And any obstacle that gets in their way, they'll do something to neutralize it or go around it. Well, that's what self-love abundance does. It gives you the legs, it gives you the compass to know where to go and in what direction to go in order to be happy and to be fulfilled. It actually reminds me of one of my favorite songs called Stand by REM. When you hear that song, it talks about stand in the place that you are. You got the sun to guide you. It's like a compass. You got the brain to tell you where to go. You deserve to be where you are and move forward. Eventually, you're going to break free from this codependency cycle, this SLDD cycle, where you fall in love with these narcissists who never love, respect, care, and trust and protect you as much as you do to them. You try to change them, you can't change, and you stay stuck. That is essentially the definition of SLDD. That cycle is neutralized. It is fixed. It doesn't happen. It can't happen. Because if you have a foundation of self-love abundance, there's no room for someone treating you so badly. You avoid them or you remove them from your life. It just doesn't make sense, and you move in that direction. And for those toxic people who are stuck in your life, say it's a parent, a sibling, people you work with, it's as if you become immune to their toxicity. You become immune to their harm. But something that proactively prevents you from getting sick, falling ill, becoming weak and vulnerable. Self-love abundance is exactly that. It not only neutralizes the toxicity of these people, but it helps you focus on how to avoid it, move around, and if needed, get rid of it. And eventually you build this resilience, this foundation of inner calm and strength. Resilience is not defined by not having problems. Because I believe life is difficult. Even for the best of us, we have problems. But do we fall prey to them? Do we disappear and disintegrate? Or do we find a way to go around them, over them, solve them, or neutralize them? That's resilience. Self-love abundance, and people who have it are resilient. They don't give up. They're not victim to negative thinking. They don't let themselves be gaslit. They are strong, autonomous, independent people who protect that love as much as they would protect a child that they were responsible to take care of. And that resilience allows them to move into difficult places, to solve difficult problems, and to move forward, not to run backwards, not to hide, not to retreat. One of my favorite ways to describe this process is what I call relationship math. And I have a whole video on that. There's going to be a graphic I'm going to show you in a second. But SLDs and narcissists, let's think of them as half people. They are not fulfilled. They're empty. They are lonely. They are shame imbued, and they need the relationship to escape their loneliness and their core shame. So a half and a half equals one. And in that relationship, they feel what they believe is happiness. But for the SLD, it's temporary. And for the narcissist, it lasts. And being half people comprising a relationship of one, well, that's only a half relationship. So a half and a half equals one, and one is a half relationship. Whereas if you're self-love abundant, you have this goal of interdependent autonomy, inner strength, everything that we talked about, resilience, and you come to a relationship as that person, and you are attracted to a similar person. The human magnet syndrome also works for healthy people, and you're attracted to another fulfilled, self-loving person. So that's 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 is a complete relationship. And so SLDD, when it is overcome and it is neutralized, and from that you build self-love abundance, well, that's the relationship math that is going to make any future relationship healthy, long-lasting, and fulfilling. If the information in this video resonates for you, if it sounds like maybe it's possible and you think, I could be that, I want to be that, well, that's the spark I'm trying to ignite. And if it is a flame that I lit, and you have now this burning desire to find self-love abundance with this understanding that you can't get there unless you figure out a way to neutralize this lifelong curse of self-love deficit disorder. Well, I got good news for you. I created a treatment program called my Self-Love Recovery Treatment Program. It is built upon 10 stages. Each stage represents a very important set of tasks in order to achieve so that you can move forward developmentally to the next stage and eventually get to self-love abundance. If you are interested, I can help you. Essentially, the Self-Love Recovery Treatment Program gets to the root level cause. Ultimately, you learn to build relationships based upon mutual respect, a predictable mutual distribution of love, respect, caring, trust, and protection. You've heard me say LRCTP. And with this new life, this new energy, this new focus, boundaries are possible. And then you realize, well, if someone doesn't follow boundaries, why am I with this person? And with self-love abundance, that conclusion comes easily, and you remove yourself. And any attempts to keep you locked into it, your self-love abundance, your commitment to it is so pure and so intense, it is going to be the backbone of any fight that is needed for you to escape. So essentially, what I'm saying in this video, it's time to change your relationship with yourself. It's time to understand that your self-love deficit disorder, it's got to go, because you deserve love. You deserve a chance to be happy. And the only way you're going to find that is you got to be that person for yourself. You got to have it inside of you. Remember my saying, the love that you want is the love that you have to have for yourself. And here are the 11 promises that come with self-love abundance. And I'm going to read these. You understand the root cause of your patterns. You resolved your buried attachment trauma. Your core shame is neutralized. Your pathological loneliness disappears. Your attraction patterns shift, and you become drawn to healthy, self-loving people. You develop a reflexive repulsion to narcissists. Your human magnet syndrome changes, and instead of being dragged into, pulled into a relationship with a narcissist, now you are repelled. It's repulsion. You're pushed away. And then finally, you experience existential peace. That is the foundation for self-love, where you feel whole and happy because you have your best friend in your life, and that is the person looking at you when you are in front of a mirror. And I promise you, once you get a taste of self-love, you're going to fight for it. You're going to develop an ongoing appetite for it, and you will do anything, cross any mountain. You will overcome any problem, whether it's a person or a situation that blocks you from your self-love abundance, because you will know that you spent too much life suffering, and now this is your time in life for you to enjoy what you always should have had. And you will protect this newfound freedom. You will do anything, any cost, because you are wonderful. You are pure. You deserve love no differently than a vulnerable little baby, but you gotta make it happen inside yourself first. And you're going to find out that self-love is not a luxury. It takes work. It's the foundation of your new life that you will fight for. So the next step, before you reach out to a psychotherapist to help you with either your attachment trauma, your core shame, your loneliness, your addiction to narcissists or relationships, I recommend you read my book, The Codependency Revolution. The Human Magnet Syndrome is also a good read, but The Codependency Revolution is the update. It has all the Human Magnet Syndrome information in it, but it's updated. I recommend that you get that book. You learn exactly what is this problem, because that is going to be necessary information that you're going to need to take into therapy to solve this disease-like disorder, self-love deficit disorder. So your life begins now. In this moment, make a commitment. Promise yourself that you're going to find a way to overcome your SLDD. You can do this. And as I've said it, as I keep saying at the end of my videos, I do believe in you. So believe in yourself. If you would like more information about anything that I talked about in this video, or you want to learn more about what I do, or you want to get help in my self-love recovery treatment program, go to selfloverecovery.com. My Self-Love Recovery Institute has a lot of resources that are available to people, including links on how to get help. Or drop me an email at help@selfloverecovery.com. You do take care and be well, and hopefully be happier and more self-loving. Bye-bye. If you feel stuck in painful relationship patterns, you're not alone. I've already helped thousands break free from what I call self-love deficit disorder, and how to finally choose self-love over the insanity you create for yourselves. Work with me. My psychotherapy can help.